Woof, woof.
Good in Sunset, South Carolina, and 4AK. Okay, it's time for the old friend net. CQ, the old friends net. This is N4LQ. November 4, Lima, Quebec. Steve in Shelby, North Carolina, calling CQ, the old friends net. We are an AM modulation, amplitude modulation net only. We operate in the old-fashioned round table method, where we pass it around to each other in a certain order. So if you would please call in for LQ now and check in.
Good afternoon, Steve, WA4LLR.
W4JPL.
KG4IUQ.
K4GDN.
NKM.
K1VVC.
November 4, Alpha Kilo, and 4AK.
WN4 PFI.
N4WD.
K4JAM. K4VWD. W4MEC.
All right, this is N4LQ, reading off the list of those who have checked in thus far. First we have WA4LLR, W4JPL, KG4IUQ, K4GDN, KN4R, WB4NKL, K1VVC, N4AK, WN4PFI, N4WD, K4JAL, K4VWD, and W4MEC. Are there any more check-ins? Call now.
KZ4 Bravo. Kilo Zulu 4 Bravo.
KZ4 Bravo, any more check-ins? Okay, real quick down the list, LLR to JPL, IUQ, GDN, N4R, NKL, VVC, N4AK, PFI, WD, JAL, VWD, MEC, and KZ4B. Quite a list of participants today. And we're running the AF-68 here, and the loop antenna, D104 mic, etc. It's cool, 75 degrees, beautiful outside today, and a lot of static from little bitty thunderstorms floating around all over the place. So Dave, off we go to you up there in Burnsville, WA4LLR, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, fine business, N4LQ. And the group, WA4LLR. Good afternoon to everyone. Hoping everyone just fine. We have 71 degrees and sunny at the moment. A little light rain shower a little earlier. QRM's not too bad up here. Last evening we had 1 and 17/100ths of rain. So, pretty good day today. Looks like a cooler week coming up. As usual, the BC610C and listening on the HQ150. So, down to you, John. Good to see you over at the Antique Radio get together. W4JPL, WA4LLR.
Okay, WA4LLR and the group, JPL. It is 81 degrees. Sunny sky out there, and it seems like the humidity's dropped a bunch. So it's actually not too bad out there. If you don't mind the skeeters seem to be very active. I was out there a little while ago and I got a bite on my leg, so I guess they're out having a party. Went to the antique show over in Nashville yesterday and picked up a couple of, I can't remember antiques, but something to play with. Busy day going to church and whatnot, so busy weekend as always. I had a really busy day Saturday. I left at 5 in the morning to go to Asheville. Stayed there for about an hour, came home, got home around lunchtime, then went to a wedding with my wife. After that, I was home about 10 minutes, so busy day. KG4IU and the group, W4JPL.
Thank you very much, John. This is KG4IUQ, Mark in Shelby. I'm on the multi-Elmac AF-68 with the PMR-8. Everybody's sounding good here. Fall of the year seems to be on its way over here in Shelby. The air's getting a little bit cooler and the grass is really slow. Steve, you're very clear. Your signal's very clear here. In Burnsville, BC610C. Just solid copy here. Sounds really good like always. John, JPL. I hear you have a busy day, and you had a busy day with church today. Nice to hear from you. I'm going to turn it over now to, I think it's George, KE4GDN, KE4IUQ.
K4IUQ in the group, K4GDN. I believe I got K4IUQ. Everybody's coming in here fairly good here in Myrtle Beach. I'm running Johnson Ranger, about 40 watts out, in the butternut vehicle, and it seems to do it fairly well. Anyway, so let's go to A4GDN.
Cheryl's Ford, North Carolina. We're at 78 degrees and very overcast, and it's just started raining about 30 seconds ago. So getting a little rain here. No wind at the moment, though. I'm on the Globecam 350, listening on a 51S1, and talking on newly resurrected in-fed half-wave antenna running roughly east-west, or west-east, actually. So I'm sorry I didn't make it up to Asheville. I want to hear more and see some pictures. So John, let us know what you what those are actually picked up there and what we missed. So over to you, Cliff. WB4NKL in the group. KN4R.
KN4R, WB4NKL. Right. I made it to Asheville, and I picked up a fluke signal generator. I think it's the only thing that I brought home. But had a good time. It's good to see John and Ron Beaver and a few others that was there. I'm running a Elmac AF-68 here today, driving a pair of 813, so a little bit different setup here. And temperature's nice out. We've had some rain off and on, and got more rain coming on the way. I'm gonna make this one and done. Daughter's coming down, and she's due to arrive about any time, so they've been on my vacation here for a few days, so visit with her some. Enjoyed it. 73s. Thanks for calling, Steve. Go ahead, John. K1VVC, WB4NKL.
Yeah, thanks very much. Well, good to hear you on there. Sorry I didn't make it up yesterday. I was planning on it, and then had a couple of things come up that needed a little attention here. But hope everybody had a good time. I was looking forward to it, and just that's the way things go. Glenn, how you doing? N4AK, K1VVC.
K1VVC and the group, November 4 Alpha Kilo at sunset. Well, it's 77 degrees here, mostly sunny. Thought we were going to have a shower of rain about an hour ago. Nothing. Copying everybody pretty well this afternoon. A little bit of static, and I'm looking on blitzartoon.org, and it looks like the biggest source in South Carolina is probably down over Lake Santee between Orangeburg and Florence. And some little scattered ones up around Asheville somewhere, but not as bad as it could be, that's for sure. I'm on the Johnson 500 this afternoon, D104, Cobra antenna, and the NC-183 Delta. True boat anchors. So doke to you, WN4PFI, such as November 4 Alpha Kilo.
N4AK, WN4PFI, thanks Glenn. I'm copying most everybody. We did have some thunderstorms pass through here a couple hours ago, or maybe a little less than that, but I was concerned about getting on today with those around. We had about 2/3 of an inch of rain. It is, I guess the rain cooled it down. It's about 6 degrees here. Tonight we're supposed to be heading down in the mid-50s tonight. I think later in the week, I think on Thursday they're calling for about 38 degrees here. So fall is upon such as I have been looking forward to cooler weathers and putting my river ready this season. But about this time of year I get tired of cutting grass. I think that's all for this round. I'll pass it on down over to Bruce, N4, WD. This is WN4PF.
Okay, Joe. I'll put the lawnmower out back quickly, Get a week there at Micro. I copied just about everybody. Around 65 degrees, % humidity. Fluffy clouds in the sky, no rain, don't look for any. Hadn't had any in the last 3 weeks, so this is good. Aye. We're running the rice burner, as usual. I gotta get the Elmac put it back together here and get it going. So listen, here's the JAL N4WC.
N4WD, K4JL, well, hope everything is fine in Fort Oglethorpe, and it's certainly fine up here in Burnsville. To go to Asheville yesterday, it's just a 34-mile ride, but I clean forgot about it. I missed it. I I'm having all kinds. I'm getting geared up to work on power supplies. My 811 is blowing fuses, and my Elmac is humming, and it sounds like it might be the power supply. I had to take my PRD-1 apart and work on it a little bit, so I'm in thorough maintenance mode, and that's good for a man that doesn't know much about maintenance. I'll give it over now to Lee, K4VWD, K4JL.
Okay, Jimmy, thank you, K4JAL. This is K4VWD. Well, it's 78 degrees here in Greenville and no rain, but it's cloudy. We had a little rain, small one, Saturday evening. Must have been around 5 o'clock or something like that. We had about a quarter of an inch, which was the first rain we've had in 2 or 3 weeks. And I wish we'd get some more. I'm using my alternate rigs today. Alternate transmitter, alternate receiver, alternate power supply. I had to change my receiver because I got no audio out of the one I've been using. So maybe it's a tube, I hope so. Let's see, Steve, when you get a minute, I want to find out how you got to that switch, that AM CW switch on the AF-68. I would like to know. And also, Charlie, that video you sent of the brown understrain and the slinky and all that was absolutely wonderful to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you very much. And I'm sorry Cliff's gone because that Elmac AF-68 sounded fine. So, here she comes, Charlie, W4MEC in the group, K4VWD.
Okay, well, K4VWD in the group, W4MEC. We're doing good signals here with some static popping on all around us, and I hope everybody's a good solid copy. I also did not make it to the event, even though I planned to be up there, and I had not prepared properly and got out the things I wanted to bring, and I just, and then it was threatening to rain here, and kind of did rain a little bit, but I figured maybe it got up that way and it was going to rain, so I said, well, I don't want to get wet, but it turned out to be a beautiful day, so I missed that one. But I just did not get prepared enough and enough time to make it worth my while to go up there and get rid of stuff, so maybe next year. It's overcast here right now. We were supposed to get a storm about an hour and a half ago. The alert said deluge or drenching rain, and all it did was spit and go away. And I was actually kind of doing what I should have done last week, going through my stuff and getting rid of some empty boxes and making some space there. And I had to put everything out before the rain came because it started to spit and then nothing happened. So yeah, so much for the weather predictors there. They actually pay those guys money. You realize that? They actually make their living guessing at the weather, and they with no repercussions when they are totally wrong. So what a job. All right, let's go down to John there. K4 Bravo in the group. W4MEC.
Did it go to me?
Yeah, goes to you.
Okay, this is KZ4B from W4MEC. I'm having a terrible time. A super noisy switching power supply is parked right on 3715 here. Well, it's beautiful. Had a nice time all summer, but it's a mess today. I didn't want to comment that I had picked up a T150 night transmitter and the variable handset that absolutely meant it looked brand new when the guy sold it for $50 and it was figure out why. But take off and oscillate uncontrollable if you turned up the mic gain at all. And I found out that the shell of the mic connector, somebody went to the trouble to use high-fiber electric to insulate it from the chassis, which meant that the shield mic was eliminated. Somebody went to the trouble to screw it up, and I'm sure the fiber watches weren't even included in it. And they had messed up a bypass capacitor on the main choke, 6146. And I was putting oil in those 2 days, and it works like that. So I did accomplish something right. And that really had me puzzled for a while because I couldn't find any bad components or wiring there until I discovered that. I'm going to try it out on this one because I am pretty deaf. I can hear lead and burn and speed, and that's just about it as far as reliable copper. So, thanks for calling me next, Steve. I'm about to have a good week, and back to net control. Will be again clear. Take it.
Okay, 73's there, John, and fine on the Night Kit T150 that you found. And it sounds like you're making progress with it. That transmitter was the first and only transmitter that I ever received a pink ticket from the FCC with. So it was known for its harmonics or something, but I think a lot of it had to do with how you tuned it up. But when you're 15 years old, who knows? So I understand the situation there with the noise. It's pretty noisy here too, but we're copying everybody okay. Anybody else want to check in? This is N4LQ. Give me a call. All right, Mayor WF2U. You sounded a little side bandish there, like missing some carrier or something. So we'll try to figure out a way to demodulate you here. So go ahead and make a transmission and then turn it back to me.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, should be. Yeah, that's the meeting, AME. Good afternoon, everybody. This is WF. And I'm a little bit late. I was cooking something, and then I cut the dog a little bit late, so then I ran out. The first round was already in progress. So I didn't have time to turn anything else on but solid state stuff. So I'm running the SG2000 transmitter in the AM equivalent mode, which is upper sideband with full carrier. So actually before I was on lower sideband, but it's not the optimum. They somehow the way the passband is done here, upper sideband is working better as AME. So I swear. The antenna is an 80 meter end fed on the other side of the house, and it's about 40 to 50 feet tall. One side is 40, the other is 50 up from the trees. And little staticky, but not too bad. Everybody has good signal. John KZ4B was a little bit fading in and out, but not terribly, between about 5.7 to 5.9. Everybody else is at least +4. So with that,
I don't know what the rotation is, so go ahead, Steve. N4LQ, WFDU.
Okay, Mayor. Anybody else want to check in? Call in for LQ now.
N4LQ, this is WA4FJQ, Tom, High Point.
Well, big signal there. Tom, how you doing tonight? Go ahead and make a transmission and turn it back to me. WA4FJQ, go ahead.
N4LQ, this is WA4FJQ. Okay, thanks, Steve. Doing fine, trying to fix a TV that's not working in one bedroom. Wife wants it on, so traded out set-top boxes. That didn't work, and then traded out the wall wart, and finally came back to life, so we got a dead wall wart. ISP, and yeah, we'll bring you one out in about 3 days. So I started rummaging around in my bag full of wall warts, and I can't find one that will fit into that set-top box. It's got a real strange connector on it. But at any rate, Steve, and Lee are the strongest signals here in High Point tonight. Everybody else I can copy, but a lot of crashing and booming. So I'm going to turn it back to you, and then I'll probably just listen from here on out. So N4LQ, this is WA4FJQ.
Okay, we'll sign you out, but Tom, you're strong, very strong here. No problem at all. Beautiful audio, and well, get your wire cutters out and cut that old cord off and patch in another wall wart. I mean, it's bad anyway, right? So, anyhow, sorry you're having all that trouble. One more time for late check-ins. Call in for LQ. Nothing heard. Okay. So let's see. Charlie will turn it to Mir, and then Mir turns it back to me. And Mir, that audio is pretty rough. I understood maybe 40% or so, and it's just real compressed and distorted and all that stuff. But anyway, that's AME usually comes out about that way for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't work better than that. And let's see. Let's see here, Dave, and the HQ150 is a wonderful receiver. I used to have one of those. Sorry I got rid of it. Probably got more knobs on it than any other boat anchor receiver made, with a Q multiplier and a crystal filter and all the knobs that go along with that. And fine on the antique show up in Asheville, guys. That I didn't go, but it sounds like somebody found some good deals there. John got a few things, and who was it? Cliff got a Fluke. And Cliff, if you're listening by any chance, that A54 sounds good, but it sounds sort of like the one I had, or still have actually, lopsided upper sideband mostly. I cannot for the life of me figure that one out, but I could see it on the scope, and as you adjust the loading control or the tuning control, you could see that shift around. Very interesting transmitter. And Glenn, you are killing me with that Viking 500. That audio is extremely sharp and loud. Maybe the strongest station, I don't know. I don't have an S meter here that I can readily see, but it was very loud. And let's see, the Doak is good and strong. And Bruce, I'm copying that rice burner. Not very strong, but you're getting out. And Jimmy, sorry to hear everything is broken there. Hope that gets better. And Lee, your alternate rig, I wonder, is that an AF-68, and what's the receiver? I'm curious. And let's see, anything else? Oh, we got 1.5 inches of rain. We went to lunch yesterday, and on the way home, it was sunny and dry. And we got to our street, and I said, look ahead, the street's wet. And we got home and pulled in the garage, and then it broke out. And we got 1.5 inches of rain in half an hour. I mean, it really came down. Crazy stuff. So, let's see here. NKL is checked out. So, Brian, you'll turn it over to VVC. And so far, that's about it. So let's do another round. WA4LLR, N4LQ.
N4LQ and the group. WA4LLR, 7-3 to Cliff and to John and to Tom. Copying everybody. The QRN has gotten a little stronger here. But amazingly, I'm copying George really well with him just running the Ranger barefoot, I believe. Let's see. John, VVC. I wanted to let you know that mic worked perfectly on the TS2000. Thank you so much. I got good audio reports from it. Jimmy is in the maintenance mode. Well, Jim, just consider it's a learning experience along with accomplishing what you need to do, so you're doing great. Steve, you were talking about the number of knobs. The Hammerlin 150 has got 15 on the front. The Hammerlin 180 has got 16, and the R390 has got 17, so they're all in the running. Oh my. Anyway, let's see here. What all is going on? Well, our space weather, we got sunspot number 119. Our solar flux index is 161 and the K is 1. Wonder if anybody has gotten up early that's got a low eastern horizon and a pair of binoculars and seen the new comet. My eastern horizon is not good. I've got some close, tall trees in that direction. So I've not gotten up early and went somewhere else to look. Call me lazy. On this day in history, on this day in 1608, John Smith was chosen president of Jamestown after having survived capture by the Indians through the efforts of Pocahontas, the chief's daughter, supposedly. For golfing fans, Arnold Palmer was born on this day in 1929. On this day in 2008, the Large Hadron Collider had its first test operation. On this day, for those of you who know the truth is out there, in 1993, X-Files debuted. On this day in 1984, Alex Trebek debuted as the host of Jeopardy! On this day in 1955, Gunsmoke began airing on CBS and ran for 20 years, longest running Western on American television. On this day in 1919, Austria and the Allied powers signed the Treaty of Saint-Germain, ending World War I. On this day in 1846, American inventor Elias Howe was given a patent for the sewing machine. And all of us know what happened 22 years ago tomorrow. So, that tomorrow is a sad anniversary. So let's keep going here. Down to you, John, W4JPL, WA4LLR.
Okay, WA4LLR in the group, W4JPL. Got a little bit of QRN that seems to be clearing up a little bit. Still, sun's going down. Now it's behind the trees now, but still on his way down. What did I pick up at the antique market? First of all, there wasn't a lot of ham gear there. There was one guy selling a Heath kit setup. I didn't bother because I got enough Heath kit stuff. Another guy had some Drake stuff that he was real proud of. And WWC Mark had a RME receiver. Other than that, I don't recall seeing any other ham gear. I bought a Philco Tombstone receiver ham radio. I didn't bother because I got no. And I also bought, and that works. That was only so I didn't have to touch that. But I also bought a Silvertone combo unit. Just an interesting something to restore. It's got a wire recorder in it, a record player in it, and a radio, AM radio in it. So not too big, but man, oh man, it's got some weight to it. But I'll be able to get that whole amplifier module out with a couple screws and a plug. So missing one tube. It's a 7AC, I think, or something like that. Maybe it's wrong. It's one of them little octal tubes. But I'll find one of them sooner or later. I actually bought those for my son. Into that now, antique radios and stuff like that. He's got an Edison cylinder record player. He was looking for a tombstone, so I figured, you know what? It's his lucky day. Christmas will come early once I'm done with him. So that's what's going on here. I'm going to check out of here, fellas. I got a couple things I got to get done before the sun completely goes down. Go out and braid the skeeters again. I'll be listening for a little while. 73, God bless. I hope everybody had a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon. See, KG4, IUQ, and the group W4JPL 73.
Thank you very much, John. Good to hear you. Steve, you're sounding really good. Always sounding good. And Dave, LLR, we've made it for a long time, 20 years. Tomorrow, anniversary of that event that happened to us. We've made it really good that we have. I'm proud of this country. And I have not seen the comic. Maybe I'll look for it. It's always good to hear that information about history that you give. And JPL John, good to hear you. And KE4GDN George in Myrtle Beach with your 40 watts out with the Johnson Ranger. Good to hear you. And Glenn N4AK, you know, trying to write things down, not familiar with much, seems like to me. You're sounding really good. You mentioned a receiver. I think it was something like N183D. I'm curious as to what it is. And Doak, sounding very good. And I heard you say something about this time of year you kind of get tired of cutting grass. I can understand that. I go through the same thing. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for the autumn weather, and it's coming. Lee, K4VWD, I don't have a meter on my radio here, but I believe that you would be taking my measure. I might even be able to hear you if I turn the receiver off. Very good signal here. Sounding good, Charlie, W4MEC. And Mayor, WF2U. I hear you talking about using a rig that's using something like upper sideband with full carrier. Having some trouble hearing you and copying you, but I do hear you. Tom, FJQ, you have a great sound from High Point. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to KE4GDN, Myrtle Beach. KE4IUQ.
Okay, KB4IUQ in the group. This is K4GDN. And you had a good carrier here, but it didn't look like your modulation percentage was anything maybe over 30%. But the carrier was real strong. And I understood 90% of what you had to say. But anyway, it sounded like you are a little bit on the weak side. And I'm hearing everybody follow well here with the exception of one. That's not those were somewhat weak through. Somehow else seems to be coming through pretty well. And there is a lot of I'm hearing in the distance. And Charlie also got the last email. As you're leaving Lakewood, just give me a call. Maybe 30 minutes before you leave, and I'll run over there. I'm looking forward to picking up that receiver from Grin. I've got a space here on the shelf already waiting on it. And talking about knobs on radios, if you count the clock knob and the pointer adjustment on the HQ178, I think it's got 17. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah, 17 knobs, so it's in the running too. And that's pretty cute. So I'm going to say 73 on this round, but I'm going to listen on to the end, and hopefully I'll be in here on Tuesday in the morning. So Brian's coming to you, KN4R in the group, K4GD. Oh, and Steve, thanks for calling in that. Really appreciate it. Do a great job. So Brian coming to you, KN4R, K4GDN.
Okay, George, very good. K4GD and the Sunday old friends. This is Brian, KN4R returning. We're having rain showers, very quick rain showers here. A little bit of rain, then it'll pause, and a little bit more rain. So, but we'll take it. And very good on all. Let's see. I don't know where to start here. A second. Let's see. Dave, thanks for all the news and information. And let's see. John, JPL, thanks a lot for the news about the Asheville antique radio meet, and congratulations on the 2 items you picked up. Sounds very interesting, and I'm glad your son's collecting antique radios as well. And I want to thank you, if you're still listening, for going by Tom Bridger's house during Shelby and picking up those 4 R390 receivers and bringing them down to various and sundry folks, including my neighbor John Runsky. So appreciate you doing that. And let's see, John, KZ4B, if you're still listening, very good on the troubleshooting of the T150. That was very well done, and quite a nice buy. Quite a nice buy. So let's see. Oh, George, good signal from Myrtle Beach with the 40 watts and butternut vertical. And Mir, your rig does sound like a military rig, but you're coming through okay here. And I didn't catch which rig you were on, but it's good to hear you. And let's see. I mean, I'm copying everybody fine. Bruce, I'm copying you okay here too, and also Doak, of course. So, and Jimmy, good luck on all the bench work there. So, and Lee, good luck with getting your number 1 rig going back. And Charlie, I do appreciate the movie link. It was a bit heady for me. I mean, it was good and very nicely done, step by step. So maybe we have a bunch of amateur physicists here on the radio. So I've got some neighbors just walked over. We play games in the evening now, so I'm going to go play some Mexican train with folks. So I've got to say 73s, enjoyed it, and hope to hear everybody on Tuesday, if not sooner. So John, take it away. K1BBC in the group. This is KN4R, off and clear. 73s.
See you later, Brian. Good signal, by the way. Coming through great. Well, not too much to say here. I'm going to have a busy week. My wife is having a knee replacement on Wednesday. So it's going to keep me pretty close to home for a good while. So she gets completely rehabilitated. But everything should go well, and I'm sure it'll work out okay. There I could hardly understand a word that you said. But what can I say? So I'm going to just pass it right on to Glenn. Not much to say here. Glenn, great. As always, N4AK, K1VVC.
Okay, John, K1VVC in the old friends group, November 4 Alpha Kilo. Well, I hadn't been on this Johnson in a while, but they are nice rigs, and I appreciate the signal report from Steve. And Charlie, make a note. I wonder if you passed along those astronomy books to Dave at the luncheon. Question mark. If not, make yourself a note to do so. And Jimmy, on the maintenance mode, I know it seems like when problems start, they come in bunches. I remember when we were in the X-ray business, we'd start blowing X-ray tubes. Instead of them being spread out, it'd be maybe 2 or 3 in a week, and it takes a half a day to replace and calibrate them, mainly because it had a light beam collimator and a collimator under the X-ray tube, and the light of the collimator had to exactly match the X-rays coming out of the tube, so that took a while to do that. And we had an X-ray machine that was could expend 100 kilowatts of energy in 1/10 of a second, and the anode was spinning at about 10,000 RPM to keep it from melting. So it was an interesting setup, high-powered X-rays. So anyway, so much for that. It's been a nice group on today, that's for sure. And Charlie, I wonder if you've decided which day you might want to come down. So, dope to you, and I guess you were going to come pick up that rig from me, or about every 2 or 3 weeks we go down to Gainesville at the lake house, and we could take it there, but we'll play that one by ear. WN4PFI and 4AK.
N4AK, WN4PFI. Okay, Glenn, I'm assuming Charlie brought that down, or is going to bring that rig down, and I appreciate you guys working that out with Buddy. And Glenn, if that's okay, I'll be glad to come over Sunset. It's been a while since I've been over in that area. I've lived numerous places in South Carolina. There's not really anywhere in South Carolina I haven't been. I was in textiles and apparel business, and I've chased jobs for about 40 years. And I've had 5 different South Carolina driver's licenses over the years, moving in and out of that state and some other southern and eastern states. But I'll be glad to come over there. I think I sent you the email and said I'm going to have an ablation done to my heart on Tuesday. I have AFib, and the cardiologist seems to think the ablation is the way to go. I'm not real crazy about that, but he told me after Tuesday to take 3 or 4 days, make sure that I get some rest, and I'll do that next week. Oh, I'm sorry, this week. But the week after, I'll get with you about coming over one day at the week after and driving over and spending a little time there with you on Sunset. Yeah, I'm looking forward to winter. I think just having a little better conditions, I hope I'll be better in just a few weeks. I was able to work, some of you may have noticed, Cook Islands. I worked them on 15 meters on CW. And something I've been working on for several years was a worked all zones, CQ worked all zones. And I finally have received my final from zone 22 that I've been trying to get for 3 years to talk to somebody there. It's been difficult for me to work that particular zone the last 3 years, but so I'm getting all my QSL cards together. There's a card checker that lives over close to Helen, and that's not far from where I live here in Suches, so I'll get over there and try to get that award. That's the last thing I set myself some goals a number of years ago, and that was the last one that I've completed. So I'm kind of excited about getting that done. Steve, I'll make this my last. I'll stick around to the end. I'm copying pretty much everybody well today, and you Steve, probably have the best signal here. Good signal. Lee, Charlie, John, KZ4B, Glenn, y'all were probably the best signals I had here today, but I'm copying everybody fine. Even Myrtle Beach come in today, so it's good for that. I'll pass it on down to you, Bruce, and for WD. Enjoyed being here today and listening to everybody, and I look forward to being on maybe next Sunday. So go ahead and take it, Bruce. This is WN4PFI. Be clear, and good afternoon to everybody.
Okay, WN4PFI, November 4, Whiskey. All right. To go out and do some Mexican train dominoes. All right, that sounds like fun. Like dominoes, but I've never played the Mexican train yet. So, after that, we went to a little tailgate at Trader's Mill yesterday. Wasn't but about 10 people there, and there wasn't much there. So couldn't get nothing if there wasn't nothing there. Hey, so to speak. Other than that, we're going to say 73s. Everybody keep down the noise level. We'll light the grill and grill some chicken here. Y'all take it easy. Have a good start of the week, and hopefully we'll see you in the morning sometime this week. JAL, N4WD.
N4WD, K4JAL. Well, it's about time for me to go commiserate with my wife. I don't have a whole lot to say today, so there you go. I'll give it back to you, Mr. Lee. K4BWD, K4JAL, saying 7-3 and clear.
Okay, Jimmy, very good. Thank you, K4JAL. This is K4 Voice with Distinction. And Bruce, you may put without distortion on yours. But anyway, I'm having a little trouble with Mir's audio also, but not very bad. I can understand most of what he said, and I'm surprised I could copy George without his amplifier, so that was good. And with that, I'm going to say 7-3, God bless, but I'm going to listen until you shut it down, Steve. So Charlie, here she comes. And again, thank you for that video. W4MEC in the group, K4VWD. So long.
Very good, Lee. K4 VWD and the old friends W4MEC. Real good, fellas. Good copy all the way around. Glenn, well, I did you one better. I brought those books to David Shelby, so he got them Saturday a week ago, so did not forget that. Let's see, the YouTube videos, you almost don't need a television. They have got so much stuff on there now, historic data, and with no commercials. Well, a lot of times some of the people have a commercial at the beginning, but just a lot of old films, newsreel films, training films from the military during World War II or wherever. How to fly airplanes. They've got one on there that's amazing about flying an F-40 Corsair from takeoff to landing. Just sit there and watch that thing. It's just amazing. That one on I just stumbled across that one about the balls, and following the curved trajectory there. That was just amazing to me that it would do that. Of course, it only does it for a few milliseconds, depending on what the medium is, but it does it. And on the side of those things, there's other advertisements for various videos, and if you're not careful, you can go to one of those and watch it, and when you bring up that page, there'll be even more that are interesting. So I got to watching one on the cavity magnetron, and they're considering that the weapon that won World War II because of the development of airborne radar. And that was very interesting. Of course, the Brits figured that out, but the very first one that they built, they actually used a cylinder from a Colt revolver as a guide to drill the metal for the cavities, the 6 cavities in the piece of metal. And they just used that as a template for the cavity magnetron on that first experimental, and they built like 6 of them, and then they came over to the U.S. with it, and of course, I think it was MIT that took off with it after that. And just amazing the development of that technology. And those darn YouTube videos, boy, you can just get hooked and watch one after another. Before you're done, you've been sitting there 3 hours and just watching all kinds of, soaking up all kinds of information. So it can be addictive. So got to be careful. But it is some good viewing there, and it's amazing that it's all out there now somewhere. And all this historic stuff that you never see on television or anywhere else is just at your fingertips. So let's see. That's a comment on that. Let's see. And good to hear everybody today. We'll look for you on Tuesday morning. And Glenn is probably going to be Tuesday And I'm not going to make 100% swear to that, but hopefully I would get it done Tuesday and bring you that low chief transmitter for Doak and pick up the Valiant. So anyway, since I'll say 73 to everybody, but I'll listen to the end. And goes to Mir, I believe. WF2U in the group, W4MEC.
Yeah, Roger. W4MEC and the group. This is WF2U. Well, first of all, it's very strange that now it doesn't sound good, although I might have been really shouting into it for some reason. Kind of doing that. I hope that I go to a decent report, and I'm also monitoring it on the scope. I did just to see whether I have full carrier in comparison to the sideband that is coming out, and then I looked at the spectrum. It's not distorting anywhere. So again, I might have been simply too loud in the microphone, and although it has speech processing, but I don't know to what kind of level. Anyway, I plan to go to Asheville, but some things came to take my attention somewhere else, and I had to do several things around the house. So by the time I finished, it didn't make any sense to go. But it would be nice to hear whether there was anything interesting. Let's see, what else? Yep, last year I got a TR4 and an RV4 that I got all capped in a kit here, so I have to finish recapping it, and otherwise it looks in good shape, but looks like it's been in storage for quite a while, and the price was something that I couldn't resist. Anyway, so I'm looking, this radio is putting out just about 100 watt peak on modulation peaks, but so please give me a report whether it sounds any better now, or but I even heard myself on your YouTube streaming the last time I was on, and it really didn't sound bad. It's a little bit restricted, like military radios, but it didn't sound really objectionable. So thanks for running the net, and I'll try to be on here Tuesday morning. 73 all. Have a good evening and a good week. And again, Steve, thanks for running the net. So it's back to, well, let's see, after me, I think it's WA4FJQ. Still here. This is WF2U. Otherwise, Steve picked it up. This is WF2U 73.
WF2U, this is WA4FQ. Yeah, I'm still listening. Things running to here, and a lot more crashes and banging. So I think I'll just say 73s. Thanks, Steve, for running the net. Fine job as always. And I think I heard some thunder, so I'm going to sign off at this point and disconnect the antenna. 73s. Yeah.
Okay. This N4LQ. Any real late stations want to check in and make a comment? All right, we got another AM QSO going on down below us there, a few KCs. That's a first. Anyway, let's see. I did want to make a comment on YouTube movies or videos. They're crazy, and I found myself watching one about some guy that has a hydraulic press and he crushes different things. What wonderful entertainment to watch the press crush different uncrushable objects. And Doak, I hope your operation goes well. We wish you the best. Yeah, Mark, your audio is low. You probably just turn the gain up a little bit. Probably take care of it. And the knob contest is interesting. I sat here and counted the knobs on a GPR 90, which is what I count, 15 or something. But I found a trick. I've got the adapter, and that added enough to run it up to 25 knobs. So, and that counts the switches too. But the most most knobs of all rigs that I ever saw is a Kenwood TS 990, and it's right at 100 knobs, counting all the switches, knobs, and the concentric knobs also, about 100 knobs, and it takes a while to count those. So they really knock themselves out. Okay, I think that's about it. We'll go ahead and shut the net down and turn it over to normal amateur use. And if anybody wants to continue making comments, feel free to do so. So this is N4LQ closing down the old friends net. Bye-bye.
N4AKWA4LL.
Hello, Dave. Go ahead.
Yeah, wanted to thank you for the radio astronomy books, and thanks to Charlie for being the bookmobile. I had previously had the smaller one, but the larger book I had not. So, and I'd misplaced the other one, so it was good to get it back. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for sending them up. And if Doak and John are still listening, John will sure be praying for your wife's knee replacement on Wednesday and Doak's heart ablation on Tuesday. So, thanks again, Glenn. N4AK, WA4LR.
Okay. Well, the big book is kind of a collector's item for people interested in that stuff, so I needed to pass it on. I enjoyed it. When I just retired, I went up there and spent a week with a group of guys. We actually rented a 30-foot dish to play with for a week and had some courses. And there's out to John and to Doak for their health care needs. N4AK clear.
73 WA4LR.
Mayor, are you still here? WF2U N4LQ.
Yeah, I'm still here listening.
Okay, yeah, your audio didn't really change, but what I did was switch over to double sideband exalted, well, synchronous AM, actually, a form of it, and you sound fine there, and I did record that on the video, so you can go back and listen to the difference and see what it takes. But for some reason, there's this thing where your carrier is just not demodulating the audio well in an AM receiver, and I can't figure it out. I'm using a SDR, but I was able to do that. But when I insert the carrier myself, you sound okay. So that's my analysis. Over.
Well, okay, I'll check it again. Just want to make sure that there is enough carrier there. As I could see when I was looking what it was. A way to adjust it in case it's not correct. So anyway, I'm not going to be on 160. I have some stuff to do in the house when I go in there. And Tuesday I think I should be okay because the storm I'll probably be here. But tonight I was really running out and didn't have time to turn on the full thing. J2, which is a hybrid, so I have to wait until that warms up. The linear is
the SO2100. So that's not a problem. But, anyway, that's why just I throw the switch on and it's already sitting on the frequency. Anyway, 73, have a good night, and I'm going in now. And talk to you maybe tomorrow. Too much static, I'll be out from 160 for a little bit. Take care, Stephen, and for recording. I'll check it out. Take care, WFC. Good night.
Okay, Mayor. Yeah, that's the way it goes. And have a good time tonight. I've been taking my walks late because it's been so hot, and matter of fact, I've been using a flashlight. So I've been missing the nets too. So 73s, I'll see you later. This is N4LQ clear.
KG4IUQ, trying to turn up my modulation, see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, Mark, come back again there. I had to tune you in. I don't think you turned it up too much, though.
Okay, this is KG4IUQ. Hello, hello, hello. It does seem like I'm getting a little better now. I wonder what it sounds like now.
Yeah, you finally got it. Yeah, you're up close to 100% now. I'd say you're okay.
Okay, thank you very much. KG4IUQ.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. We'll talk to you later, N4LQ.
I heard a couple of guys doing a band and they were a little off frequency. I thought they must be running into it. I heard chatter. It was called the Moonlighters. This was